My ex said we were better as friends. So I blocked her after she went to my girlfriend's door, called me cold, kept watching my stories, used an unknown number to say she thought I'd always be there, and finally admitted she never expected me to let go. Welcome to AF Tales. Today's story is about a woman who ended a relationship but still expected her ex to stay close enough for her to control. As you listen, think about the moment you would have walked away. She said it like she was doing me a favor. We would be better as friends. She did not want to hurt me. We were standing in her kitchen on a Tuesday night. There had not been a fight. There had not been some huge blow-up. My shoes were still on. Her arms were crossed. Her tone sounded rehearsed, like she had practiced the whole speech in the car before she came home. I just said, "Okay." That was it. No begging, no follow-up questions, no dramatic pause. For context, I'm Alex. I was 26 then. She was Jenna, 25. We had been together a little over a year. Not casual, not vague. It was a real relationship. We had met each other's families, shared keys, built routines, made inside jokes, talked about the future. The whole thing. When I said okay, she blinked. I remember that part clearly. She looked like she was waiting for me to make a case for myself, to remind her how good we were, to promise I would fix whatever invisible problem she had decided I had. Instead, I grabbed my jacket. She followed me to the door and softened her voice. "I really hope this doesn't ruin things," she said. "I care about you. I just think friends is healthier." I nodded. "Yeah, friends." She smiled with real relief, like she had avoided the messy scene she had prepared for. What she did not know was that I had already felt her leaving for weeks. The sarcasm that no longer sounded playful, the way she corrected me in front of other people, the eye rolls when I talked about work, the way every disagreement somehow ended with me being told I was too sensitive. It was not sudden. It was just official. Sometimes the breakup is not the first ending. It is only the first time someone says it out loud. I went home, put my keys on the counter, and sat in the dark for a while. No music, no texting friends, no trying to make sense of it right away. I just let it land. Later that night, she texted me, "I hope you're okay." I just didn't want to string you along. I did not reply. The next few days were quiet, too quiet. No fight, no closure talk, no real conversation, just an unspoken assumption that I would stay where she left me, available, familiar, emotionally open, still there, just under a different label. She checked in once more. "We're still cool, right?" I answered, "Yeah." And I meant it, but not the way she thought I did, because by then something had already shifted. The first week after the breakup was strangely easy. That sounds cold, but it is the truth. I expected sleepless nights and the urge to text her and replay every conversation in my head. Instead, it felt like the pressure in my chest had finally eased. Like I had been holding my breath for months and had not realized it. Jenna leaned hard into the friend's idea. She started reacting to my Instagram stories again. Fire emojis, laughing faces, low-effort attention, the kind that says, "I still want access to you, just not responsibility." Then came the comments. If I posted anything even mildly positive, she had something to say. "Wow, you're really thriving. Must be nice to move on so fast. Didn't realize we meant that little." I ignored most of it. That Friday, we ran into each other at a mutual friend's birthday. I almost stayed home, but I refused to start shrinking my life because of a breakup. She showed up late, loud, and already tense. The first thing she did was scan the room until she found me. I was laughing with someone. That alone seemed to bother her. She walked over like nothing had happened and bumped my shoulder. "Hey, stranger, didn't think you'd come." "Why not?" I asked. She shrugged. "I don't know. Figured you'd need space or something." That was rich coming from the person who dumped me and then hovered around me like a bad Wi-Fi signal all night. She stayed close. Too close. She kept making those little comments she had perfected near the end of our relationship, correcting me in the middle of stories, teasing me in that sharp way that was never really a joke. At one point she leaned in and said, "So you holding up okay? I was worried you'd spiral." I smiled and said, "I'm good." She did not like that answer. By the end of the night she was clearly unsettled. Not because I had done anything wrong, just because I was not playing the role she had assigned to me, the role where I missed her. The role where I waited. The role where I proved she still mattered more than my own dignity. When I got home, her text was already there. "You were acting kind of distant tonight." I looked at the screen for a long moment, then wrote back, "We're just friends. This is what that looks like." She did not reply, but I knew that conversation was not over. About a week later, a coworker named Lily asked if I wanted to grab coffee after work. No pressure. No date speech, just coffee. I almost said no out of habit. Then I stopped and asked myself why. Why would I say no to something easy and normal just because my ex wanted me parked in emotional storage? So I went. It was simple. No tension, no walking on eggshells, no disguised insults. Lily and I talked about work, favorite places around the city, and how weird adulthood feels when nobody hands you a manual. I did not post about it. I did not tell anyone. It was not some statement. But somehow Jenna found out. That night she texted me. "So you're already seeing someone?" I stared at the screen. "What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. I heard you were out with some girl." There it was, the accusation wrapped in entitlement. I answered honestly. I grabbed coffee with a coworker. The typing dots appeared, vanished, and appeared again. "Wow, that was fast. Guess friends was just an excuse for you to move on." I almost laughed. She ended the relationship. She was the one who said she did not want to hurt me. Now somehow I was the villain because I continued existing. This is where people get stuck. They start defending themselves to someone who already rewrote the facts. I did not respond. Over the next few days, her tone changed. The sarcasm faded. Now it was concern. "Are you okay? You seem different lately." "I just don't want things to be weird between us." But weird had been her specialty for weeks. Lily and I went out again. This time it was dinner. This time it was intentional, still slow, still calm, still normal. I posted a story, just a table and some food. No faces, no names. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. Jenna. I did not answer. She called again, then she texted, "Are you seriously ignoring me now?" That was the moment it finally clicked. Her version of friendship did not include me choosing someone else. It did not include me being unavailable. It did not include me stepping out of orbit. It had never been about not hurting me. It had been about not losing access. I turned my phone face down and went back to dinner. For the first time in a long time, I felt calm. The calls did not stop after that. They escalated. First frustration. So this is how you treat someone you care about. Then guilt. I thought we were mature enough to stay in each other's lives. Then the history rewrite. "You're acting like I cheated on you or something. I was honest. Isn't that what you wanted?" I ignored all of it. 2 days later, she showed up at my place. No warning, no text, just a knock like she still belonged there. I opened the door, already annoyed. She walked in like she owned the air, looked around, noticed little changes. My jacket on a different hook, a plant on the window ledge that she used to complain about. "So," she said, arms crossed, "you're really doing this?" "Doing what?" I asked. "Replacing me." I took a slow breath. "You broke up with me," she scoffed. "Don't twist it," I said, "friends." "That wasn't a pause button," I said. "That was an ending." Her face tightened. "Wow, I didn't realize you were this petty." There it was again, that word, petty. The word she used any time I stopped cooperating. I stayed calm. "You don't get to decide how I move on." She laughed, sharp and joyless. "I just didn't expect you to move on this fast." That sentence explained everything. Not move on before she was ready. She started pacing my living room, talking at me more than to me. "I thought we had something mature. I thought you respected me enough not to jump into something else immediately." I looked her right in the eyes. Respect goes both ways. She actually froze for a second. "So what?" she snapped. "You're just done with me," I shrugged. "I'm done waiting." The silence between us was heavy. Finally, her voice dropped. "You're really not going to fight for this?" That was the moment the last door inside me closed. I shook my head. No, not angry, not cruel, just final. Her expression changed. Panic flickered under the attitude. She grabbed her bag. "Fine, don't come crawling back." I said nothing. After she left, I stood in my living room and felt something settle into place. Not victory, not relief, clarity. And I knew she was not done yet. The week after that was when Jenna fully unraveled. It started with late-night texts that pretended to be casual. "Do you ever think about us? I keep remembering our inside jokes and it's messing with my head. I didn't think you'd just disappear like this." I did not answer. Then came the mood swings. One morning I woke up to, "I hope she's worth it." By lunch there was, "I'm genuinely happy for you, I just want you to be okay." By night it was, "For someone who claimed to love me, you moved on disgustingly fast." That last one almost got a response. Almost. Instead, I muted the thread. Then she changed tactics. She started posting mirror selfies with captions about choosing herself, stories at bars, quotes about knowing your worth pasted over black and white photos. The usual performance. And every time I posted anything, she watched it. Every story, every update. No more comments now, just monitoring. A mutual friend texted me one night, "Just a heads up, Jenna keeps asking who you're seeing." "I'm not hiding anything," I replied. "I know," he said. "She's just not taking it well." That made me laugh, not because it was funny, but because it was predictable. She did not miss me. She missed control. She missed being the fixed point in my life. The next time she reached out, she tried something new. "Can we talk, not fight, just talk?" I agreed to meet her for coffee, public place. Neutral ground. Closure, I thought. She got there early. When I sat down, she gave me that tight smile I knew too well. "This whole thing got out of hand," she said. "You ended it," I replied. She waved that away like it was a minor detail. "I meant temporarily. I just needed space. You weren't supposed to replace me." There it was, finally said out loud. I stared at her. "That's not how breakups work." She leaned forward. "I just think you owe me a little time before whatever this is." I stood up, took a few bills from my wallet, dropped them on the table, and said the only thing left to say. "I don't owe you anything." Her mouth opened, then closed. For the first time since all of this started, she had no comeback. I walked out knowing one thing for sure. She was not losing me. She had already lost me. I thought that would end it. It did not. 2 days after the coffee meeting, she blocked me on everything. Instagram, Twitter, even Spotify, which felt ridiculous but somehow fit her perfectly. I noticed because the silence changed shape. It felt loud, like the blocking itself was supposed to make me react. I did not. 3 days later, she quietly unblocked me. No message, no explanation, just reversal. Probably hoping I would rush in with some soft question about why she did it. I did not. Then she started reaching out through other people. One friend said, "Jenna thinks you're being cold and punishing her." Another said, "She thinks you're doing this to make her jealous." The irony almost gave me whiplash. Meanwhile, things with Lily were normal. That was the part that shocked me most. No emotional tests, no power games, no tiny cuts disguised as humor. She asked how my day was and actually listened to the answer. One night after dinner, we were walking back to her car when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I knew it was Jenna before I answered. "What?" I said. Her voice cracked right away. "Why are you doing this to me?" I stopped walking. "Doing what?" Pretending I don't exist, moving on like I never mattered. I stayed quiet. "You said we'd be friends," she continued. "Friends don't replace each other in a week." "I didn't replace you," I said calmly. "You removed yourself." She scoffed. "That's such a convenient way to spin it." "No," I said, "it's just the truth." There was a pause. Then she said the one sentence that made the whole thing make sense. "I thought you'd always be there." Not with someone else, not fully gone, just there, available, safe, on standby. "I'm not that guy anymore," I said. Her tone hardened instantly. "So she's more important than me now." "Yes," I said. She hung up. And for the first time since the breakup, I felt absolutely nothing afterward. No guilt, no doubt, just certainty. Sometimes choosing yourself is the exact moment someone else realizes they never loved your freedom. They loved your availability. After that call, everything went quiet again. No texts, no surprise visits, no mutual friends checking in. A week passed. By then, Lily and I were officially dating. Nothing rushed, nothing dramatic, just steady and mutual. The kind of easy that makes you realize how hard you had been working before just to keep someone mildly satisfied. That was when Jenna resurfaced again, this time in public. She posted a long story with a white background and black text, very deliberate, very polished. It was all about being discarded, about men who cannot handle strong women, about people who only pretend to love you until something shinier comes along. She did not use my name. She did not need to. My phone lit up right away. Is she talking about you? Dude, yikes. You okay? I was okay. What bothered me was not the post. It was the rewrite. The way she recast herself as the victim of a story she had authored from the beginning. Later that night, Lily asked me softly, "Is she going to be a problem?" I paused before answering. "She doesn't like losing." That turned out to be an understatement. The next morning, Jenna texted me for the first time in over a week. "I see you're happy pretending I never existed," I replied once. "I'm not pretending, I'm moving on." Her answer came back instantly, so everything we had meant nothing. I stared at the message for a moment, then typed the sentence that shut the last emotional door. "It meant something, it just doesn't anymore." She did not reply. Instead, she blocked me again. This time, I did not even check to see how long it lasted. I did not care because by then I understood what she had wanted all along. Not friendship, not closure, not reconciliation. Leverage. And the moment she lost it, she turned bitter. Then she crossed a line she could not uncross. She showed up at Lily's place. I was not there, which was probably for the best. Lily told me later that she heard a knock, opened the door, and found a woman she did not recognize standing there with folded arms and a tight smile. "You must be Lily," Jenna said. Lily nodded. "Yeah. I'm Jenna, Alex's ex." That was how she introduced herself. Not someone I used to date, not a friend. Ex, like a title she still believed gave her authority. Then she looked Lily up and down and said, "I just wanted to meet the girl who replaced me." Lily crossed her arms. "I didn't replace anyone." Jenna laughed. "That's cute." Then she said, "He's not over me, he just thinks he is." Lily did not raise her voice. She did not get defensive. She just said, "You need to leave." Jenna scoffed. "You should be careful. He shuts down, that's his thing." "One day he'll do it to you too," Lily answered. "If you don't leave right now, I'm calling someone." That finally got through. Jenna turned and left, but not before saying, "You'll see." When Lily told me about it, I felt something cold settle in my chest, not fear, resolve. I texted Jenna for the first time in weeks. "Do not contact her again. This is your only warning." She replied within seconds. "Wow, so now you care." That was it. The last thread snapped. "If you come near either of us again," I wrote, "I'll handle it formally." She did not answer. Instead, she posted another story that night about women stealing men who were not fully healed. I watched it once, then blocked her everywhere. No speech. No final debate. No explanation. Just done. Blocking her felt more final than anything else had. No more wondering if she would text. No more bracing myself every time my phone buzzed. No more mental calculations about whether silence or kindness would make things worse. The silence was not empty this time. It was clean. A few days later, a mutual friend told me Jenna was not doing well. Apparently, she had been telling people I blindsided her, that I led her on, that I emotionally replaced her before she even had time to process the breakup she started. I did not correct anyone. There is a kind of peace that comes from letting someone keep the story they need in order to live with their own choices. Life moved on after that, and for once it moved in a good direction. Lily met my friends, not with forced charm, not with some quiet competition, just genuine interest. She did not try to impress anyone. She did not need to. She was steady, present, kind without keeping score. One night we were cooking dinner together with music playing low in the background when she looked at me and said, "You know, you don't flinch anymore." "What do you mean?" I asked. "Like you're waiting for the mood to change," she said. "You used to check my face every time you talked. You don't do that now." I had not noticed, but she was right. I was not bracing anymore. A week later, I got one final message from an unknown account. "I never thought you'd actually choose someone else over me." I stared at it for a long time, then I deleted it, because the truth was simpler than anything I could explain. I had not chosen someone else over Jenna. I had chosen myself after Jenna. And once you do that, there is no going back to being someone's backup plan. I thought that was the end. It was not. There was one last moment, quiet, small, no drama, but it put everything in its final place. It happened on a Thursday afternoon at a grocery store. I almost did not recognize her at first. Same hair, same face, but something about her had changed. The sharp confidence she used to wear like armor was gone. She looked smaller somehow, tired, like someone who had spent too long replaying a story that no longer had an audience. She saw me and froze. For a second, neither of us moved, then she walked over slowly. No attitude this time, no edge. "Hey," she said. "Hey," I replied. We stood there between produce and dairy, the most ordinary place possible for the end of something that had once felt huge. "I heard you're doing well," she said. "I am," she nodded, eyes dropping for a moment. "I didn't think you'd actually stick to it." "Stick to what?" "Letting go." That was the first honest thing she had said in months. She took a breath. "I really thought you'd come back eventually. You always did." There it was, no accusation, no mask, just the truth. "I'm not angry," she added. "I just didn't expect to lose you." I looked at her, really looked at her, and realized something important. She was not my problem anymore. "I didn't leave to punish you," I said. "I left because staying meant disappearing." She swallowed hard. "I hope you're happy." "I am," I said, and for the first time I did not say it to prove anything. It was simply true. We stood there for another second, then she stepped aside. "Take care, Alex. You too." I grabbed what I needed, paid, and went home to a life that felt steady instead of tense. Chosen instead of tolerated, and that was it. No revenge, no grand speech, no dramatic return. Just the quiet certainty that when she said we would be better as friends, what she really meant was stay where I can still reach you. And when I said okay, what I really meant was goodbye. If there is a lesson in all of this, the first one is simple. A breakup is not a waiting room. If someone ends the relationship, they do not get to keep you on standby while they figure out how they feel. The second lesson is that friendship is not real friendship when one person still expects power, access, and emotional control. That is not closeness. That is entitlement with softer language. The third lesson is to pay attention when peace shows up after a breakup. Sometimes that peace is not proof that you never cared. Sometimes it is proof that the relationship had been draining you for longer than you admitted. The fourth lesson is that healthy love does not require you to shrink, brace yourself, or study someone's face before you speak. If calm feels new, that should tell you something. And the last lesson is this: moving on is not cruelty. Choosing yourself after someone misused your loyalty is not cold. It is growth. So what would you have done in my place? And have you ever had someone ask for space when what they really wanted was permanent access without commitment?